that was the era where these bands were contributing songs to soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what was it? Queensryche had a song. What was it?
Scarborough Fair, Last Time in Paris.
Last Time in Paris. Yeah, that was one.
That's a good song.
Yeah, I heard that today. As a matter of fact, it was on
song.
one of my random play songs.
Good song.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it was a different era with the soundtracks. The soundtrack was a big deal back then. It was as big a deal as an album.
It was, absolutely. I look back. I know you saw the same documentary that what was his name? Rob Stigwood.
Rob Stigwood.
Yeah, from he was was he producer back in the 70s. Like back in the 70s, movie soundtracks was not a big deal.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Was his name Rob? I think it was Rob Stigwood.
I don't know. I'm lost on what you're talking about here, but that doesn't mean anything.
Well, this was the era of Grease and Saturday Night Live and
sure.
Or not Saturday Night Live, but
Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever. Well, at the time, there didn't seem to be any interest in like a soundtrack for
right.
the movies, as far as like selling it as a record or a tape or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And this Rob Stigwood, he capitalized on that and said, okay, well, I think he made a deal with the movie company and said, so you have no interest in the soundtracks? And they were just like, no, why do we care? And he goes, well, I'm just going to take it then. And they go, have at it. And he marketed the soundtrack for Grease, and he marketed the soundtrack for Saturday Night Fever, and they became huge.
Sure.
And that kind of kicked off that whole movie soundtrack, selling it as a disc or a CD or, that was tapes and
well,
records.
That was usually how they announced the movies back in the 80s, was with the soundtrack.
Yeah, but they weren't selling it though. You know what I mean? They incorporated it into the movie, but selling the.
No, I'm saying in the 80s, not the 70s.
Well, no, I mean even in the 80s, selling it later in the 80s, it became a thing.
Okay.
To buy the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And because you got bonus tracks on there that these bands, like we just said, Winger, Queensryche,
yeah, Megadeth, Faith No More, everybody was doing it.
They were all contributing, and you wouldn't get that song anywhere else. They didn't typically add it to their album or anything like that. It was just on the soundtrack.
Right.
So if you were one of those purists who had to have everything your favorite band did, you would get the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
But the soundtrack was also a good compilation of a bunch of cool tunes sometimes.
Sure. A lot of times.
Yeah. But that Stigwood guy, he kind of started that.
Okay, didn't know that.
Because prior to Grease and Saturday Night Fever, nobody talked about soundtracks.
Okay.
Buying them and owning them or anything,
sure.
Or playing them in the car with your 8-track or whatever it was,
What was the first real big one?
I think Grease.
Was it Grease or was it Stars Born? That was pretty huge too. That was about the same time. No, Stars Born was before that. Stars Born was Grease was 78.
Mm-hmm.
Star is Born. No, not the 2018 movie. The good one. Not 1954. How come I can't find that movie? 76.
Yeah.
That was a big soundtrack, wasn't it? Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand?
I don't recall, to be honest with you. It could have been. I just don't recall.
It was a big one in my house. I'll tell you that. My dad and mom played the shit out of that thing. I still know all the songs on that one.
Yeah. But that Stigwood guy, he made his fortune on marketing, and selling the soundtracks.
Okay.
as far as a compilation is concerned.
Right.
And it was just, he made a shit ton of money, and the movie studios, they didn't have any interest in it. Just like, do with it what you want.
And when did it come back in the 80s? Would it be like Footloose?
Well, it started, the popularity of soundtracks started in the late 70s, and they really took off in the 80s.
Okay.
And it seemed like everybody wanted to get their song on a soundtrack because, that paid some pretty good royalties.
Sure.
Because every time somebody watched that movie and that song or whatever popped up there, what was another soundtrack that was a big one was Vision Quest.
Vision Quest, yeah.
I think that was
Madonna had Crazy for You on it. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
Changes.
Journey had the song on there.
Oh yeah. Not Ask the Lonely. Be Good to Yourself.
Yeah, Be Good to Yourself. Yeah. It starts the movie off when he's out there jogging across that bridge.
Right.
Yeah, so things like that.
I had a ton of soundtracks in I used to love soundtracks. For me, it's weird because I do not like listening to just random music. But man, if you gave me the right soundtrack back then, I was in, because it'd be like all my favorite bands on one record, with stuff I didn't know.
Right.
And it was cool. Like, what was that? I can't think of what it was, but it was the one with, might even have been the Bill and Ted with Angry Again, and it had Faith No More on it.
Yeah, I think that might have been Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or Bogus Journey.
That was a good, and it had a Kiss song on it too. I think it had like God Gave Rock and Roll to You or something.
Right.
Yeah, that was a good one. Iron Eagle, people are saying them in the chat room. Iron Eagle, that was a good one too. With One Vision. One Vision was on that from Queen. Purple Rain, yes, that was a fucking killer soundtrack. Now, do we count that as a soundtrack, right? Not just a Prince album?
For
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain, that would be an album and a soundtrack. Yeah, because it was all, it wasn't all one artist because the Time was on.
No, they're not on that album.
They
had their own album.
Okay.
And with the Do the Bird or whatever that song was.
Right.
Everybody say what?
This Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey had Slaughter with Shout It Out, Winger, Battle Stations, Kiss, God Gave Rock and Roll to You, Richie Kotzen with Dream of a New Day, Steve Vai with The Reaper, Faith No More with The Perfect Crime, Megadeth, Go to Hell, Primus with Tommy the Cat, King's X with Junior and Gone Wild, and Steve Vai again, the Reaper rap.
The Reaper rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I had that album. Anything that Faith No More had, I would have bought. Just like you were saying, people that were completists. Back then, if it had Faith No More, I had to have it. Because I was all in on Faith No More at that point. Yeah, I remember, didn't Slaughter do like a giveaway that led into the video of that on MTV where they had like trucks and stuff of like gear that they took to somebody's house or something? They did some sort of contest that culminated with them playing the video for Shout It Out on MTV.